Hi, everybody. This is Travis with the Berm Show. This is a podcast where active duty military members and veterans can share their stories, their experiences transitioning from active duty military life into that of a veteran. So please follow, subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, actually went really well. Right in time. Like right in time because I think we got it done in, God, was it November? Something like that. It was somewhere around that time frame, I feel like. But
Right before all that flooding and everything.
yeah, because first we had been told by a few companies, they're like, oh, we can't be out there till like late December, early January. And we're like, okay, well, that's the whole winter. But man, luckily we got somebody in sooner because the winter just went all the way basically through the end of March. I mean, we had rain like every day.
Man,
Yeah, we got snow and everything over here. Yeah,
rad.
yeah, we got
I
snow a
went
little
out
bit.
there that I went when I went out there. I just missed a huge rainstorm driving back on like the 60 to get to the 10 and everything, man. And it was brutal. Like it was so bad. It was so rainy that morning, and I left at like 4 a.m. So it's already still dark, but the potholes were filled. And so, like, dude, you just see cars just go kadoof, and I'm like, oh snap! Like, it was bad, man.
That's what happens like when I go to my parents' house. They live out like kind of in the boonies a little bit. So, those roads haven't been fixed in like who knows how long. So yeah, when you get any rain, unless you know that they're there, you're gonna destroy your freaking car.
Right.
Like I just drive in the middle once I get down to their road. I'm like, I've hit that thing a few times. Like I know what happened. I don't want to pop a tire freaking 600 miles away from home. But yeah, it's been crazy. So yeah, the roof was good, right in time, right in the nick of time. Even my boss, he'll hit me up on that sometimes. He's like, "Man, well, you're lucky you got your roof fixed." I'm like, "Yeah, and freaking A, dude." Like I was
Right.
stressing freaking bullets there for a minute. It's just like this tarp. We're not gonna have a tarp on our roof for freaking 3 or 4 months. That's just not
That was
happening.
like the last time we talked, wasn't it? When it was still going on. So it's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I mean, because around that time for work, yeah, it's just been crazy for us. It really gets um starts picking up like in December to get everything situated at like all the stores that we service and stuff. And then all my because I hire like merchandisers and they've all like I've gone through like 6 people, so it's yeah the work I'm not supposed to be doing I've been doing, which has made it 12-hour days. Yeah, it's like I'm supposed to be managing, man. What the hell? I haven't managed in since I've been here. But yeah, it's been crazy. So,
Right
how
on,
you
man.
been?
Dude,
How things
good.
going?
Busy here too, because right about that time is when Jen was doing all the paperwork to go from the LLC to the nonprofit. So she was like all of December getting all that stuff done. And like we got it done so fast that we actually got like the IRS approval and the state approval and everything. Like we got that January 5th or 6th or something.
Mm.
And I remember Jen just put everything in like right before Thanksgiving actually. And so we were waiting on that, getting that taken care of. And then yeah, so we went that way. Then we went and changed some of the names of like the app and our Twitter and all that stuff to Foxhole Lounge. So getting all that set up and straight and organized and everything's been, a wonderful headache. Then um I had just a wild hair up my butt and I was like, let's do well, it wasn't really a wild hair, but we went on a road trip and I met up with the guys and girls from Hockey with Valor. And Matt and his wife Ashley, who's that's their organization. And man, dude, like They strapped me into a sled and put me out on the ice, gave me 2 little hockey sticks, and it was
What the
such a
hell?
blast. And ever since I visited them, I wanted to do something for them. And it really hit me like early this year to do something, because I swear, dude, I had no idea that this was even like this was a part of him. Was Matt, who's running that, was out there on the ice doing the drills, walking back and forth, talking to me, skating all this stuff around. I didn't even realize that that dude was missing like a leg until like a couple months ago, right? But right when I was like, man, dude, I saw an Instagram video of him coming back from his TV to his couch. I was like, no way. And I had to like rewatch. I was like I had no idea. And that's what really inspired me to do it, because I was like, I had no clue, because he was out there on the ice coaching, skating all around, doing everything for everybody. And so it just really goes to show you like how it's not an issue, especially with people that served. They just get up and get shit done, and it's so cool to see that. Then we wanted to do an event for him, so we're actually planning, or it's planned out. We're in the good part of the stretch now, because it's on May 27th, right before Memorial Day, but we got the tables all figured out. The sponsors are all taken care of. Prizes, dude. I don't know if you saw, but dude, I got a $700 Traeger
Yeah, I
as one
saw
of the
the post
prizes.
on that. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. So like, I mean, and it's for anybody. You don't have to skate or anything. Like, you can run our little challenge courses that I got set up. And then one of the kids' prizes, we got a Nintendo Switch. So, like, the fastest kid is going to get that. The fastest adult's going to get a Traeger smoker. We got gift cards, because we're going to do a little social skate. Like, we're going to do a limbo contest and a couple other games, and we got gift cards for that. And then right now, the last bit just trying to put together is finding hockey teams to do a 3-on-3 tournament, because the people I've talked to are like, they say like inline teams are notorious, like last minute type of people and stuff like that. So, I mean, I get it. But I'm trying to throw enough bait out there. Like, the winning adult team is going to win $1,000, and then the winning kid team is going to win $600. So, I mean, I'm trying to throw some nice little opportunities out there for people to just sign up quicker. But yeah, dude, just trying to get that done, because where we live at, going like, we're about 40 minutes to Prescott and Prescott Valley and stuff like that. So going down there, because that's where we're going to have the event, that's just been like the most tedious part, is going down there and canvassing all that area and stuff like that. But
That's crazy that you're doing all that stuff, though. I mean, yeah, a lot has changed. I saw, the Foxhole Lounge change. So I was like, kind of curious as to why that happened. I was like, well, is he rebranding or something? What's going on with the Foxhole Lounge?
well, Lower 22 Foundation, like, well, when it was Lower 22 Vets, it was all encompassing. It was a placeholder name, because it took me a while to figure out like a great name to have for an app specifically for veterans and stuff like that. And like, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that, and I know everybody's got issues, but like, dude, Lower 22 Vets, like it's not fun talking about suicide. Like, everybody always gets all gloomy when they talk about suicide.
Very
So,
true.
like, having that just as a placeholder so people know what we're about is better. But when it comes to actual users in the military on there, I don't want them thinking about that stuff. The whole point is not to think about it. Provide the crisis hotline number if somebody has an issue, but it's not meant to be viewed as like a helpline. It's a community. It's a group of us. So just took me forever trying to think of a name. And I was just really thinking one night, and I came up with the whole idea of foxhole, because what do you do like when you're in basic and boot camp and everything? Like, I mean, I know what we did, like, and I don't even think we're allowed to even call it foxhole, which is even awesomer now. I think it's like a buddy hole or a fighting position. I don't know. But anyways, like, it was still called a foxhole when I was back there. But yeah, you dug it and you're in there with your friend, and that's where like you're supposed to be safe, So that's where that part of it came. And then I was trying to think of foxhole by itself just doesn't, I feel, grab. And so I was trying to put stuff at the end, and like the first thing I was thinking was Foxhole Tavern, and where we can all gather and stuff like that. But then another issue that a lot of service members have is drug and alcohol addiction, So I don't want that to be like a unconscious trigger for anybody, or deter people from like going in there thinking it's kind of like, a drinking type of app.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, I think that's what's been kind of good for myself as well, taking like not having done anything in a while, because I've noticed that a lot with my podcast as well. It's like the suicide thing was just like every episode, and it does get kind of, like you said, like not to be rude, obviously it's an issue, but man, when all it is just negative type of thoughts and conversations, and it gets kind of like, I don't know, not to be rude, but it's like, and I don't like to keep harping on it, and just, it's like, man, so it's been nice taking a break even from that, and like, so like this new go around, I just want to have like a good ass time doing it,
Nice.
Like, let's have some fun, just talk about normal shit. I get that might come up occasionally, but man, yeah, it gets kind of,
it kind of pigeonholes us into not having like even good dark humor about the things, because like that's, like I can't go on there and or I couldn't before. Like, I loved I don't know if you ever watched Scrubs, that TV show.
I've seen Scrubs. Yeah.
Oh, so Ted was probably one of the funniest people on the show, the attorney. And they asked him one time, and they're like, why do you have a smiley face picture and a gun in your drawer? He's like, one's if I'm sad, one's if I'm really sad, like, yeah. So like, I felt like that was almost inappropriate in a way, if it's all about that, when that kind of humor is what brings us together even more.
Exactly. And like, I don't know, like I'm going to my best friend's wedding here in a month now. Shit, just a little bit over a month. Who I was on Navy with, and it's like, man, like it was a good time. I know like there's some bad shit that happens when you get out, and even when you're in, but like him and I will talk, and it's like, man, it was good. We had a blast. Like, there's so many fun stories and good things that happen when you're in. I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, like it might have sucked in the moment, but man, it was kind of a fucking blast looking back. Like, we had a pretty good gig going there for a couple years. Absolutely. It wasn't all depressing and shit. Like,
well, I mean, and like that, and that's another cool thing, is because like recently I've got to meet up with a lot of the people I haven't seen in 15 and even almost 20 years. And like, I drove out to Las Vegas because I live about 3.5 hours away from Las Vegas, and being former Motor T, like, that's not a big drive.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
So drove out there, met up with a couple of guys that were in the area, and we had sushi, and then I just drove back home that same night. Like, like it was great, because there was like a 2-hour block of just that reminiscing, and like, while talking about some shit that sucked with, when we're in, but like how we can have fun with that now. And then like that's our whole attention, our whole focus. Yeah. We weren't like, we were able to get caught up in the moment, so.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, that's what I like about what you were saying, the change or shift in direction with the name. That's a good idea, I think. like you were saying, get kind of out of that gloomy and depressing type of stereotypical thing that seems like a lot of veterans, like you were saying, kind of pigeonhole yourself in if that's all you think of. And then if you're trying to escape it, same thing. So that's cool. And then, now you guys are officially a nonprofit, which is freaking badass. I mean,
it's so much better. Man, okay, so this was my mistake. I tried to do what I thought was.
Hey everybody, it's Travis from the Berm Show. There's a brand new app called Lower 22 Vets for veterans and active duty military members. This app combats suicide amongst veterans by bringing veterans together. So please go check it out. Sign up is free and it's easy, and there's monthly giveaways. You can find the app on Google Play and Apple Store. So sign up now. Thank you.
More open, and if I upset somebody on these comments, I'm cool with it because it proves that I'm right. But if you look at nonprofits, especially some of these big veteran nonprofits, and you actually go into their books and see what they're actually spending money on, it's not veterans, man. It's not. And so I tried to, in my mind, legitimize that by being an LLC at first. And the moment we shifted to a nonprofit, everything has become so much easier, so much lighter. People it's easier to get money to give the veterans. And then that's where I feel that we come in different, man. Obviously we have operating expenses that we need to cover, but the majority of the money goes right back to veterans. I don't take a paycheck at all. And I know you're not supposed to in the first couple of years, but that's not in the grand scheme of things. There's no need for me to ever get paid to do this. There's not, and I'm not going to do that because it's better served in other places. I rather be able to give another prize and show appreciation away than take a paycheck, because I don't need it. So I'm in a fortunate situation where me and my wife are well enough off to be able to just we're sustained on my VA disability check. And we don't need to have a big lavish lifestyle. We don't we're introverts, man. We would rather stay home and be with each other an unhealthy amount of time then go out. Me and my wife, so obviously we're married, we have our kid together, we run the nonprofit together, we spend an unhealthy amount of time together.
That sounds like a 24/7.
Okay with that. And so that's why, getting back to it all, I think we're different because my focus isn't me, or it's never going to be me for this.
That's interesting because, man, just recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, it feels like now, maybe a month ago, I was looking at jobs at certain big, I'm not going to bring up their names, but big nonprofit veteran places, and they pay a shit ton of money to people. I was kind of damn, kind of made me think how much, I know they do things, but it's how much of it is actually, how much do you actually do for veterans if you're able to pay people
right
$100K? I mean, I know that's not a whole lot to a lot of people these days. $100K is whatever, but at least in California, I mean.
Oh yeah, I could, dude. I saw a thing on today that the smallest house that got sold last week in California, it might have been Southern California, but it was a 425 square foot house, and it sold for $480,000. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you do it.
I
You must be hustling down at Morongo.
well, we bought our house. God, I think like 4 or 5 years ago now. I think this is year 4. When we bought it, that's when interest rates were like super low. So we got pretty lucky. We dodged like everything now. We bought it for like 300. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. But now, like when you look at the value, it's gone up like almost $200,000. So like the temptation's always there. But it's like, man, if we sell
Arizona's
it, then we
only a
just got
state
to eat that
away.
high interest somewhere else.
It's only 6 hours back there.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know, it's not bad. We got pretty lucky. So yeah, that's insane though. California is just, I don't know how anybody's doing it out here. Like buying houses right now, selling houses, buying them, renting, all this stuff. I just don't get how anybody's surviving out here. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's nuts.
totally
Props
different
on you,
conversation.
man. Props
Well,
on
then,
you. But
shit,
yeah.
do you see the story with the VA out here in Long Beach?
No.
So I'm not gonna. I haven't
I'm
dug
in
into
this.
it, but I saw a little thing pop up on Twitter talking about the VA in Long Beach. So I think that hospital is relatively new. It's right by the college where I went to college, actually.
Yeah.
So I guess they found a bunch of, I'm guessing, medical records and documents in the dumpster, like not shredded up, nothing. Oh man, when you
Wow.
told me like you want to get touch base, I was like, man, I gotta bring this up because that is fucking crazy, right? Like,
That's nuts. That's not. I mean, that's not surprising.
like, even if it's just the basic information that's on there, that would depend on the document. There could be a driver's license number, your social security number, your freaking address, and banking information. I don't know how it works for the
Man,
VA, but man, I was like, that somebody's getting fired. They're pulling funding from somewhere. Like, holy crap, man! Like, it like blows my mind. It's like how forefront like veteran affair type or issues are, and you can still fuck up like that.
dude. So, like,
Wild.
I get into it with my doctor, not bad or anything, but because I have 2 spinal fusions, and it's funny because the second one was done in LA, and so my actual place was the Long Beach VA, so they probably like ditched some of my records there. But when they did my neck, I went for my follow-up. I sat there until close, and nobody ever said anything. And so, like, I've never gotten my neck rated. I got 4 screws and a plastic donut in my neck, and then I got 6 screws, 2 rods, and a metal cage wrapped around my lower spine.
Jesus Christ.
And so, like, yeah, like, so my medical records are out there now.
A fucking RoboCop over here. Holy shit.
But no, yeah, dude, like, they told me when they saw it, they're like getting to the whole thing. Like, I didn't want to deal with any pain medication or anything. That's all that they want. Like, dude, they'll just drop that. Like, I didn't go in there. The first thing that they were like, "What do you want, pills?" I'm like, no, I do not. And I had to beg and beg and beg to get physical therapy, and they go, since we got the choice care and stuff, we can go outside, which is fine enough, but they only give you 15 referrals for a year. And if you go to a physical therapist, man, when they first see you, they're running through 2 to 3 a week. And so you get like a month. And with my back being as jacked up as it is, like, every week I just feel the pressure build and build and build. And I finally found this one dude down there. Like, I told my wife, I was like, man, I've never had a man touch me like that in ways before. Like, it was amazing. And so, like, trying to just get that to go again and again, it's such a frustrating hassle. And then when I bring up other things in there, as far as like PTSD treatment and stuff like that, they have no idea what's going on. Like, they don't talk to each other at all. And then I told her to look for it. She's like, oh, yeah, well, they do have it at that one. I'm like, well, can we do this here? No. Okay.
Wow. So they slap a Band-Aid basically. Like, I like to hear those stories because I went to the VA just the one time and never went back. So it's like when you have when you have to deal with them all the time when other veterans do, it's kind of interesting because, man, that's like makes you understand or kind of realize why there's like homelessness problems with the veteran community too. If you show up and they're like, oh, here's some pills, is that what you want? And they just slap on some
don't like, and I'm not trying to say this just to say it, but like, dude, I wish that there were the flip side of those stories though, man. Like, it's always like the 10% is what gets shown. Like, you have the 10% in every branch, and they're the ones that basically get seen in the light by the masses. But like, there has to be like at least 5 or 6 VAs that are just on point. Like there has to be, like, statistically speaking, there's no way that they're all this bad, you know? So like, there has to be like 5 or 6 good ones. We just need to find those ones and then just flood that area.
Shit. No, that makes me wonder, like, I get there's the VA and stuff like that. I'm sure it's government funded and all that jazz. But man, like, I'm surprised. I think it would be cool to see this. Like, if veterans started like their own type of veteran wellness type deal like that. Some type of, I mean, there's military doctors and shit. It's like, why not get out and start your own veteran practice where you help other
Those
veterans?
are the good ones. The bad ones end up at the VA. The good doctors all have their practices.
That's kind of true, man. Like the dentists in the Navy are the worst because like I still have my wisdom teeth. A lot of people get them pulled out in boot camp, and they're like, oh, they're bad, but we're not going to pull them quite yet. So like, all right, get to the ship. They're like, oh well, you might not be able to go on deployment because your wisdom teeth are growing in at an angle. And I was like, or they grew in at an angle, and we're gonna have to pull them. Never pulled them. I still have them. It's just a fucking crap. And I failed an eye test one time on base. I failed the eye test. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to send you the glasses to your ship, to your command. Never got the glasses. I filled out everything, prescription. Fucking Navy, man. They're probably all drunk as hell when they're doing these things. They're just like, fuck yeah, man. Like, I'm hungover,
like I have this dentist up here now because I'm 90%, so I get the dental taken care of, which is a great VA perk, But like, I was going down and like I want to think of myself as like a tough dude. Like, I think I'm tough, but man, like, the person doing the cleaning had me in tears going at it. And I'm like, this is a cleaning? And then now I'm up here and I go to this one dentist up here that the VA outsourced me to, going to, a normal practice. And man, I put on my eye mask with my little Bluetooth in, and like, dude, they just go to town. And like, I've never had a more enjoyable experience with a dentist out,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't get it, man. It's like it's supercuts for doctors. Like when you first graduate, like cosmetology or barber school, and like you're trying to find and you go to supercuts, and then you find out who's good because then they leave.
Yeah.
And then the people that stay,
That shit's hella true, by the way, with supercuts, man. Like, when I was, man, even when I got out of the Navy, I'd go to a supercuts right by our apartment, and there was one lady in there.
No more. We're in a hillbilly town, dude. We don't have many.
Well, there's like one lady that could cut hair in there. You know what I mean? Like, there's only the one person. So it's like, I made appointments with her. I was like, I'm not having anybody else touch my hair because they'd fuck it up. And I was like, I needed her every time. When she did leave, like you said, she was gone after, like, I think I went there like once a week for a year. And then she was just gone one day. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, where is she? Like, and I rolled the dice, and they jack up my hair. I was like, all right, I got to find like a real barber at this point. I was like, this is just sad. You know, they're just over there. It's like military style almost, man. They just cut you up real quick, try to get you out the door so they can get somebody else to sit down.
Right?
It's like, fuck.
That's how I don't like now how when you sign in and then they like shame you, they're like, oh, it's been 3 weeks since your haircut. You know, well, do you remember what you're going with? Is that a 1 or a 2 on top? Like, man, come on, dude. Just get your...
See, I got lucky. My wife cuts my hair now. She's been cutting it since COVID.
Oh, I'm going through the denial stage. I'm going bald.
Oh, man.
And so I'm feeling old. So I'm just going to let it grow out. Try to look like Keanu Reeves.
No shit.
Yeah, we're just going to let it grow. Who
Hey,
cares?
man, that might work out, you know. He's gotten better looking. I think as he's gotten older. He's like ageless. And maybe part of it is the long locks that he got so right now.
Right. So
Fucking
what else has been going on, man? What like I've been able to get to any baseball games yet?
No. But my son's playing T-ball this year, so it's his first time playing. It's kind of fun, man. It's a trip because these little kids, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They hit the ball and everybody just like flocks to the ball. And one kid, the first game, a kid hit the ball and then he went and tried to pick up the ball. Everybody's like, no, run to first. It's like, man, this is crazy. I kind of like this more than like a real organized game. It's so nuts.
Right? Have you seen the I want to go to one of those Savannah Banana games. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That looks like what baseball is supposed to look like, I think. That just looks so much fun. Like, but I don't think that they're obviously anywhere out here.
It kind of reminds me of like a regular softball league you'd have with your friends, but it's like way more organized. Because man, they're coming up to like cool music and they're like ripped shirts and shit, and they're like dancing and doing weird crap at the plate, and the pitcher's doing weird stuff. It just looks fun. It just looks
the one
so
that
fun.
I just saw from them. The guy that was coming up to bat got a chicken sandwich from the place because like it was like the stadium was a chicken sandwich place, and so he just came up to the mound or came up to the batter's box with a chicken sandwich, and then he offered a bite to the ref, and then he offered a bite to the catcher, and then like I think he got a hit or something, but he got on second, and like he's sharing his burger with everybody there, and they're like, "This is a good burger."
Like I don't know how that league is like put together or structured, or if those guys even get paid a lot to do it, but man, it just looks like fun. Like that looks like it, like because the pitcher's still humming it. The videos I've seen, the pitcher's still like winding up. He's throwing a real pitch. It's not like
right.
It doesn't look like he's lobbing it up there. So it's
Yeah.
like a mixture of like goofing around with some seriousness to it, which is it just looks fun as hell. I gotta catch one of those. I've seen a bunch of clips, but it kind of reminds me of watching like a T-ball game, you know?
Right?
Like
it's baseball but fun.
Yeah, you know, it's way more fun watching the kids play. Like my son, he picked up a ground ball and he threw it to first, and they got the kid on first base caught it, and that was like the first time that's happened all year. So everybody was like, "Oh, like you caught it!" You know, it's like the fact that kid caught the freaking ball and it was like a good enough throw. And we're like, "Holy crap, man! That is the things you celebrate in T-ball is just."
It's great. It's great, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's been taking up our Tuesdays for games, Thursdays practice. I've been working Saturdays, but yeah, he plays Saturdays as well. So yeah, he's getting a lot of running. He's a lefty too, so it's kind of cool. We're hoping he sticks with it, but
there we go.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a good mixture of kids, you know. Like it's just a trip watching them play.
It's like I like it when it's like an in-house tournament at a jiu-jitsu school. You know, it's not like other people, and then as soon as you bring in other schools, it turns into soccer moms and dads and everything, and they don't know but like having just an in-school tournament and everything, it's the same thing, dude. Like you finally see a kid take down another kid, and you're like, yeah, because they're usually just, dude, they'll get their grips and they'll just circle around for like 2 minutes, and you're like, oh,
Now, how young do they start in like jujitsu? Like, what's the youngest like age group for something like that?
Well, I train my daughter and then our two neighbors' kids, and she's almost 4, and then he has a 5 and a 7-year old, and
Oh, damn.
so we train, and it's a lot different than adults because it's trying to mix learning and fun and basic self defense. Like if someone comes up and pushes you down, how do you fall without hitting your head and, becoming a vegetable, Like that's a huge thing. And so doing that hand-eye coordination, doing like bear walks across the floor, picking up different colored cones and stuff like that, doing different like bear crawl to the third cone and back, bear crawl to the second cone, bear crawl to the fourth, so little things like that. Once I don't think they really understand it until they're about 6. Like then you can start throwing in like takedowns and stuff like that. Like and actually like show the technique behind the takedown, not just very basic Barney style explanations of it, because you can start really getting into it. And then it really depends on the kid, man. Like I like teaching ours because I trained him as well, the dad. And so he's a tough dude. So our kids are getting tougher together. And then it's not just, oh, she got bumped or he got bumped and they're crying. And then like, no, like we get out the crash mats and we like to get them ready to be thrown. Like I'll pick up my daughter and I'll just throw her on the crash mat from a couple feet in the air. And show her like if you just hold your head right, like it's not bad.
Yeah.
So
See, that's something I wouldn't even think of. So that's like the ground, the fundamentals are like the groundwork that you need to know before you can actually get into doing the real shit. Obviously, learning how to fall. I would have even guessed something like that.
dude, that's the biggest thing. Like the number one thing that I go with is knowing how to fall, because whether you do jujitsu as a hobby or competitively or whatever, you're not going to be able to do that if you hit the back of your head and you reset yourself like an old school Nintendo, man. Like people have literally died from getting into a fight, getting punched and knocked out, their head hitting the concrete. So I mean, obviously there's, in that case, they're not going to know how to fall, but they shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And so whether I'm trying to push my daughter to be a Marine, I didn't say that specifically I would love you less, but I did say I would love you more if she did. But like, I don't care what she does, but she's not going to be able to do it if she doesn't know how to fall properly and protect her head. That's the most important part.
Shit. No, it's crazy. Have you seen speaking of jiu-jitsu too, a video of Nate Diaz choking out some dude on the street?
I have not seen that. I've seen the build up to it, but I haven't seen that.
Fudge, man. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what led to it happening. But some random dude probably talking shit or try to punch him or something, which is stupid.
You think it's really a random dude if he looked like Logan Paul and they're going to have a... Man, I think that's just clever marketing by the Paul brothers.
Maybe. I think he's getting sued now. I thought I saw something where he's getting sued.
Nah, that'll get dropped. I bet you it gets dropped.
Yeah, he choked the shit out of him.
If not, Nate should slap him too.
Yeah, he choked the shit out of him. I was like, damn, he just dropped him on the street
I
unconscious. was like, hey, that's kind of what you get if you're trying to come up to freaking
that fuck around and then find out graph.
Yeah.
Like
I got to tell my wife about that. I was like, what's the other guy's name? Oh God, he's a kickboxer. I can't remember his freaking name right now. Man, he's a pretty well known one too. Can't believe I'm forgetting his name. But I guess some guy like shoulder checked him in the bar, and then he turns around and just.
Oh, I remember that.
I cannot remember the guy's name.
I
but
don't remember his name, but I remember who you're talking about.
just turn around, just like he shoulder checked him, and then the guy said something to him, and he just drops him right there in the bar. It's like, dude, that's why you don't go around just fucking with people. You just don't
Right.
do it. You just
And like, I can't remember that guy's name, but like Nick Diaz, you know what they look like.
yeah,
And so, like, why are you going to play that game with those people?
yeah.
That,
Like I don't want to find out. I'm not going to go up to like Anderson Silva and try to kick him. That dude's gonna, grab my head and knee me into oblivion. Like, come on, that's just the stupidest thing. I don't know,
right?
man. People are just getting more ballsy, like just with shit in general like that. You can't be
But
too
I want to tell you this too. You know who I do want to see choke out some people? Thomas Moore, newly sponsored by Lower 22 Foundation.
Oh,
Yes,
damn.
IBJJF tournament coming up on the 5th and 6th of this of May. So
Hell,
gotta make sure to get him back.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that dude is just straight ripping fools apart.
He's a big dude, man. Like, I didn't realize when I was talking to him, but seeing his like pictures, it's like he's a big guy. Holy shit. He's only been doing it for a few years, I think. Now, I think he said he started at 33 or 30. Was he 36, 37 now? So he's relatively 4 or 5 years into it, maybe.
Yeah, he's crushing people, man, getting super fights and everything. So
yeah, he's moving up quick from what it seems like. Sponsor wise, too, man. You got sponsors galore and
right, Battle Bars, another vet-owned company.
Yeah, it's cool to see, man. Like it makes it easy to root for guys like him. Like that are grabbing life like that. You find a passion late in life or later, mid-30s, and they're like, "Fuck it, man, I love this. Let's get serious about it and start rolling people up globally and nationally." It's just, man, that's so badass. It's like I gotta get into some shit like that. That's cool,
dude. It's so much fun. Like there's. Like for me, man, there's been nothing like it because once again, it's like when I was talking about you get to lose yourself for that 2-hour period. Man, if I'm not focused on what my buddy's doing, like he could choke me, and I don't want to get choked because then that literally puts a whole level of trust into play, whether or not he wants to let go or not. Like, because dude, that could end very badly, very quickly, and so having to be so hyper focused on one thing that's what helps me out a lot.
Yeah, man. Like even thinking about competitions now too. I've seen a few videos pop up like this too, where it's like wrestling videos or maybe it's jujitsu as well. But like the loser gets up and like just cold cocks the freaking guy that won. Like it's just like, man, and I wonder what training and stuff now. Like you're training some kids. Is like the sportsmanship part of it kind of hinted at too, like, hey man, just because you get choked out in practice, don't be a sore loser. Like get up.
It's
like, hey,
so hard though with this because, and I'm not saying the kid's right or wrong because he's definitely wrong for losing in the first place. But
you should have lost to begin with.
Yeah, like you shouldn't have lost and you wouldn't have had to throw that sucker punch in the first place, right? Just win. But at what part does that become his gym's culture though? Because it's everybody's whole thing going, it's everybody's marketing ploy of keeping students going, either you win or you learn at a tournament. And like there's truth to that, but then you're also trying to tell other kids and other competitors that you have to have it at a higher rate. And so like a higher competitive rate. So when those two clash, that's what's going to happen is those kind of stupid minute decisions,
It's different than other sports, like because it's very one-on-one also, even though you do have your camps and stuff. It's not like a team sport where if somebody is kind of a sore loser or poor sport about it, you got other individuals on the team that be like, hey, you're fine. Like next time, you're really by yourself in that split second, like you said. Emotions are high. You just lost. You're pissed off. And maybe it's part of your gym culture as well. The expectations like, hey, we don't lose. Or maybe
Well, not only that, but like like I said, it's a marketing ploy to say either you win or you learn. But I don't want to say every, but a ton of the instructors need you to win, and they put that pressure on you. They need you to win so they show their legitimacy as a school. And so they put that undue pressure onto that person. And so that's when those snap judgments come out,
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, just the overall pressure to, because it's not at that point you're not competing just for yourself. You're competing for your gym, your coach's reputation, like you're saying. So it's like maybe if you lose a lot, maybe your coach will be like, "You know what, dude, you can't train here no more," or something like that. I'm sure stress factors like that probably come into play.
But then you also have on the opposite end, like John Donaher talks great about it, like how people will come and visit, and like they'll say that they had really good rolls against Gary Tonin and stuff like that. And so like, but what's happening is Gary's not even trying to do anything on your level of existence because he doesn't have to, first of all. But like he's mentally on 7 different levels trying to figure out little stuff, so he doesn't care if you advance a position or you almost got an armbar on him, or if you did, accidentally, manage to get a choke.
Yeah.
So then there's that aspect of it playing into it too, because then you got the people getting their own ego, not knowing how that other person is training. And so it's a very hard thing to do that few people have done genuinely and successfully.
Yeah. And that part kind of happens in like almost every sport I could imagine. Like playing basketball, that happens. Like I've done that before. I'm playing against somebody I know it's not as good, so I'm like, I'm gonna try something different, a different type of turn fade away. I want to use golf my goofy foot, instead of going my normal way to turn around. You only go try something different. And if it misses, and they're like, "Oh man, it was a bad shot." It's like, well, yeah.
But really, was it, or was it you literally putting into that practice mode?
Yeah. Like right now, I'm just trying something new because you're playing serious, and I know I can beat you. So I'm just going to fuck around a little bit, try to have some fun. Maybe use my left hand a little bit more on layups and not go up right-handed all the time. Try something a little different. And it happens because I've been beat before doing shit like that. And they're like, "Oh man, I beat you," or can't believe I beat you. I knew I was better than you. It's like, oh god, all right, let's play again. Fuck it, let's play again. Now I'll play serious, and then like, man,
that's when you throw the money down, start hustling.
Oh man, when I was young, I'm still pretty young, I guess, 33. But when like in my 20s, I used to get real cocky with that shit because I'd be like, I'd tell people like, I'll spot you 4 or 5 points. We'll play to 11. Super stupid. I used to do shit like that all the time, man. That's my dad and me right there. My dad's just like that. It's like I blame him for that overconfidence sometimes, especially when it comes to sports. But oh man, hopefully my son doesn't turn out like that. He's pretty humble for the most part when he plays. So I'm like, that's good, My daughter, on the other hand, might be a little different. She's a wild one. Man. That's what they don't tell you. The second kid is.
Then I'm horrified because my daughter right now she's gonna be a very strong, independent little one, because man, like she doesn't take it bad, but she already has a very competitive mindset of doing stuff against me. I'm like, dude, you're 3. We're reading a book together. You don't have to finish the words. It's cool. She's like, no, Dad, I will read this. I'm like, you can't even read that word. I'm like, I got to help you with it. And she's like, no. What is it? I'll tell her. She's like, and I'm like, man. So
That's good
and
though.
if the second one's even wilder, whew.
Yeah. Like we thought our son was crazy. We're like, oh man, he's a wild kid. But shit, she makes him look like a saint. Like she is off the wall crazy, very opinionated. She's like a year and a half. Very opinionated. She'll let you know exactly how she feels. Like when she's pissed, you know it. And my wife and I always talk about it, like crack up, I told her kind of like you're saying with your daughter, they're pretty strong-willed individuals. Like it's good though. It's like it might suck right now, might be a handful, but man, if she's like this as an adult, I don't have to
It'll
worry
pay
about
dividends.
shit. Like she's gonna handle business like
Yeah.
hardcore if she stays like that. I'm like, I'll take her being a pill right now, knowing that when she's out of the house, I don't have to worry about what the hell she's doing.
Well, we're about to not worry ourselves because I convinced my wife, Jen, our neighbors just had half German Shepherd, half Belgian Malinois puppies. They're 4 weeks old right now, but we got a little meat missile on the way to come and protect her. Like, I can't wait, dude. Like, and Instagram and all those people know who run the Meta World sites know that I'm all about these dogs right now. My feed is just filled with Belgian Malinois freaking. I've seen the Joe Rogan clip talk about them being meat missiles like 100 times in the last week. It just keeps on popping up in my feed. I'm like, Jen, it's destiny. We need to get it. So
that'd
yeah.
be cool though. I mean, because then your daughter has a dog to kind of grow up with too. That's like the best. Like we have a cat, which is awesome. I mean, we've had our cat for a minute, but I've told my wife like, man, we should get a dog. Also, like, I kind of want a dog, but our cat's kind of borderline doggish. He plays fetch and shit like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. He's earned his keep. He's killed 9 gophers at our house. I'm like,
No.
yeah.
I had to do that here with metal traps and I felt horrible.
Yeah, he leaves the first one he killed. I was in the backyard trimming the grass, and he doesn't eat them. He just kills them. And he put them all every single one after this first one. We're in the same spot. I was going with the weed whacker, trimming the edges, and I almost weed whacked it. I was just, looking straight ahead of me, and then all of a sudden, a corner of my eye, I was like, "Oh crap!" It was just a dead gopher, probably like that big,
Yep.
just sitting there all mauled up. I almost clipped it with the freaking weed whacker, and he was sitting there looking at me. I was like, "Hey, man, like, thank you, earning your keep. I appreciate you killing some gophers."
My buddy, when he set the traps and everything, you want to keep them gophers from coming back. If you know where their hole is, shove them back in their hole because they're very territorial. So if another gopher doesn't smell him, they'll leave and go somewhere else. And so when we killed the 2 that we had, we just shoved them in the hole. There's nothing now.
Oh shit. And they're crazy though. Like so we had one hole, and I remember putting the hose in there. I was like, I'll drown it out and just get it with the shovel or something,
Oh, dude, that's harsh. You're just gonna just put a hole. I couldn't even do that.
Yeah, you put a hose in there, you float them out, and they pop out somewhere else, and then you get a shovel and just boom, get them. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, see, I grew up in the country, so that's how we did things. It's like my grandma would be out there with the shovel, just when we irrigated. When we'd irrigate because we had pasture, they pop up. We let the dogs out. Dogs have a field day. Everything we had a chalkboard and everything growing up. Like who had the most gopher kills at one point? Yeah,
I'm gonna send you a picture. We have that on our calendar. We have mice and gopher kills.
It's funny as hell. Like, yeah, my grandma was on there. One of her dogs were. We had one of my mom's cats were on there, and on our lab that we had at the time, he was on there as well. So we had this chalkboard, just a bunch of tally marks on there. But yeah, I tried doing that, flooding it out, and then the one side of my backyard started like getting all mushy. I was like, "Holy crap! Like how big is this hole?" And like it started popping up water in like different locations. So like, damn, they got like tunnels under my
there's
my
a
backyard.
system.
But luckily, my cat, he killed. We had 9. I didn't realize we had 9. But he killed 9 freaking gophers. Just beat the shit out of them. Like not chewed up or nothing. Some of them look like they were just scared to death. Like you'd see them, there's like no blood on them. They're just on their back, paws, their hands are up. Just
Oh man.
because I've seen him kill. He kills a lot of things. Like I've seen him get lizards and stuff. He'll pick them up, drop them, and let them run and swap, like hit them, throw them up in the air. He's really brutal. So they like everything he kills is kind of, I think, dies of just trauma, being beat up. And then once they're dead, he just leaves them. It's like, oh, thank you,
Damn.
But he does it. He earns his keep. I appreciate him for that. We have no rodents.
You sure? Because like I said, our neighbor just had a litter of 10. So you can get yourself a little meat missile.
My wife would kill me, man. Oh my God, my wife would kill me. Every time I bring up a dog, she's like, there's no way. There's no way. It's like, oh man. It's like, come on. But then she's like,
yeah, I don't think if we were to live back in Chandler, I don't think we could have got one because, dude, like literally, like I said, my feed is just filled with it now. And those dudes clear 5 feet like nothing. And so any brick wall, like, dude, they'll climb up like 8-9 feet and be chill with it.
What the hell?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Send me a thing with these dogs. I gotta see these guys. I gotta see these.
Oh, hold on. It's not hard. Like I said, I'm on it.
I gotta see what these things are doing here. Well, maybe we'll pull it up on here actually real quick. They're climbing fences and shit. What kind of dog is it?
Belgian Malinois. Malinois. I can't say it.
Oh, man, that thing popped up fast. I didn't even finish putting Belgian in. That was the first. They're listening to us. Let me see here. I'm not sure if I can can I put a YouTube video on while I'm watching this or doing this? Or copyright infringements at play?
I sent you one of this one lady has it trained to just scare the ever living shit out of you.
I'm on YouTube.
I don't know how else to say it.
I'm on YouTube and I just hovered over this video. And I think this one's probably a police dog because it just jumped through a glass on the driver's side door.
Look up Belgian Malinois and Joe Rogan because that clip should be hitting. But dude, like they're super talented dogs if you take the time to train them. Like there's videos of them walking on ropes across like huge spans like a ladder. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, here it is. I'm not sure if I could play it. I'm not going to put it on here. I'll just look at it real quick. But they're using war and police. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Meat missiles.
Yeah.
They look fucking sharp though, man. Those are
they just
looking dogs.
But at the same time, if you train them right, like that thing will absolutely protect my daughter to the end. Because there's so many great videos of them like showing the dogs trained with a kid, and then the guy has like the bite arm on, and like they do like high fives, and the dog doesn't react. Hug the kid, doesn't react. The moment that they try to pull the kid away, dude, that thing just you're done. You're done.
Kind of makes me wonder if this one video I've seen recently, I think it was looked like a little girl and it looks like a dog that's kind of like that, to be honest, running around in the front yard, and a couple other dogs come out of nowhere and try to like attack her.
Yeah.
And that dog just like starts whooping their ass.
Yeah.
Probably what it was, because it kind of looks like this thing, man. This one I'm watching, this one's jumping like, I swear that thing looks like it just jumped over a basketball hoop. That thing's like 10 feet. Oh, it just climbed a tree. What the hell? You're going to get one of those?
There's one where it split a tree and it's walking up the trees like this.
What the hell?
Yeah, buddy.
Shoot, man. Yeah, your house is going to be freaking safe as hell with one of these things. Freaking somebody breaks in, it's going to jump off the wall. It's going to run, do some Matrix type shenanigans, and wow.
That's what we want. And then I don't know if you've seen that movie Megan.
No.
But yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, so it's That one's, I guess, supposed to be a horror movie, but
That's what it looked like.
we were all rooting for the doll, though, because everything that the doll did was to protect the child. And so, like, anything, like this one dog, like, barked at her, and then, like, later at night, you just see the doll just come alive, and then, like, there's no more dog, and yeah. So Megan is going to be the dog's name.
I've seen the trailer for that movie, so I know what you're talking about, though. That's crazy. I think like on the trailer, it shows her getting mad at the mom and stuff too. I was like, oh crap,
Yeah,
popping off.
But no, like that, like after about 30 minutes into that movie, you're like, wait a second, I think Megan's the good person here. And then like we all started rooting for Megan by like halfway through the movie. We're like, dude, she looked at that girl wrong, Megan. You better fix this shit now. Like, we're just yelling at the screen for Megan to just start doing more destruction.
Shit. And we hardly ever get to watch anything anymore. That's what my wife and I talk about. Like, we're cracking up. Like, when's the last time we went on just a date? You know, like to a movie, anything. You know, when you have kids, just kind of out the window. I think the last movie I went to actually watched was freaking Super Pets with my son. You know,
Ooh.
yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. We don't get to do anything that sounds fun or interesting to do. We just get stuck doing other stuff. But and if we do try to watch anything, our son just pops out constantly.
Once again, like, me and my wife spend way too much time. So once Liana goes to bed, then we'll come up here and we'll either play video games or we'll watch a movie. And like that's it. And then usually about 30 minutes into it, I'm usually passed out.
See, that's my wife. Done. That's my wife right there. We tried watching the newest Shazam movie. Our son was at my mother-in-law's, so we're like, oh man, maybe we can watch a movie tonight. Our daughter went to bed. She goes to bed easy. So we're like, all right, she's asleep. And I'm like, we're watching it, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes into it. You know, I'm looking at my wife. She's over there just like, you want these numbers? I'm like, damn, just go to bed. She's like, well, I want to watch it. I'm like, you're not. I was like, what just happened? You know, what just happened in the last scene? I don't know.
Right.
Go to bed. Like, get out. Well, don't finish it. Don't finish it. It's like, I won't. I promise. I'll wait. I'll put it on pause. But oh man, it's a trip, dude. It's I don't know. Like, we hardly.
I've seen the first 20 minutes of a lot of movies, and then after that, and then Jen will be like, "Well, we seen that together." I'm like, "No, I've never seen it." She's like, "We watched it." I'm like, "We might have like sat down together, but I didn't watch this movie at all." So yeah.
Luckily, the one thing I get away with watching I do watch a lot of baseball. So that's the one thing I think I can put on and nobody really has any problems with when it's on. So it's like, thank God. Because it's like my son puts something on and it's just nobody likes it but him. You know, he's sitting there, he's loving it. Everybody else is like, this is stupid. Where are you watching this? My wife watches
like
Grey's
on that Bluey, man. You got to get on that Bluey.
Oh God. See, he doesn't watch those things. He goes on YouTube and he'll watch like other kids opening toys and stuff. I'm just like, this is the weirdest freaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's how that one kid made millions, dude. Dude, what's his name? He's a Nickelodeon kid, Ryan.
Yeah, that kid.
That kid used to do that. His dad, I'm pretty sure it was like super nerded out and like did YouTube videos for him, and that's what got him into Nickelodeon and stuff.
Yeah, they're like the OGs of doing that, because now there's like a whole bunch of kids that do that crap. Like he watches this one with a dad and his son. I'm like, dude, that is just ridiculous. You play video games and they're like recording each other, they're playing with toys, and it's like, dude, where do you get the time for starters? And I'm like, you look at the views, they got like 4.4 million views. I'm like, God, this is freaking crazy. Like they're
That
making
hurts
millions
though.
of dollars from kids watching them live life. So I always tell my son, I'm like, dude, put like a normal cartoon on. Like put Batman on, some Superman, like something, dude, like anything. I put Pocahontas on the other day because it's just me, him, and my daughter. I was like, dude, we're not watching this show. I don't even know what the kid's name is. Like, we're not watching this. So I just threw Pocahontas on. He's like, what's this? I'm like, bro, it's fucking Pocahontas. There's a lot
This
of
is what we
singing
had
in
on
it.
VHS, kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of singing in it. You know, my daughter's dancing to the music when they're singing. I was like, she likes it. I don't mind it. You're outnumbered. I was like 2-1. I'm like, suck it up. Yeah. It's like I can get the trash taken out. She's dancing around. I don't have to worry about her doing anything crazy. She's content,
Right.
you know. But man, yeah, it's just like, dude, put something normal on, you know. Like, why do you watch other people live? Like, the one like he watches Blaze locally. I'll handle some Blaze.
Blaze and the Monster Machines.
Yeah, I can stomach that. I'm like, this is cool. It's kind of educational too sometimes. So it's like,
I got Jen off of that show because I would just be screaming Blaze during their theme song. She's like, no, we're done with this. Blaze. And then, no.
My son gets mad at me with that show though, because I tell him, I'm like, man, Blaze is a cheater, dude. And he's like, no, he's not. He's like, he doesn't cheat. I'm like poor freaking, was it Crusher or Thrasher, whatever the guy's name is? The guy always loses. I'm like, this guy can't turn into nothing. So that's why he tries to cheat to win. Like he tries to cheat to win because he can't turn into anything. Like he's a normal car or truck. Freaking Blaze all of a sudden shoots out rocket jets and he's like just blows right by him, or he turns into a plane and flies over him. It's like this poor dude is made out to be the bad guy. He's just a regular truck trying to win a race, and this guy's over here turning into shit. Like this is crazy.
You know, it's like Blaze is on steroids.
Yeah.
This won't stand.
It won't, man. Like we're watching one. I can't believe I'm even ranting about freaking Blaze right now. But they were in like doing a race underwater in the blue truck. I think it's Crusher's his name. He's in an actual submarine, and then Blaze turns into a submarine. I was like, give me a break, man. This poor guy's over here trying to find the right button and trying to cheat because this guy turns into a freaking submarine with a rocket jet on the back. It's like, I can't stand it.
You know what that just made me think of? Blaze is like the Green Lantern. Like he can just do whatever he wants. Like there's no whatever. Screw you, Ryan Reynolds. You can just do whatever and you can think of it and be that. No. Yeah.
That's how he is. Yeah, he's like a Green Lantern. Yeah, it's perfect. Turned into a freaking dinosaur. He turns into everything. It's like this dude. Can't stand him. Can't stand that. Can't stand Blaze. I'll watch it just so I can hate on it. Oh man. Yeah, I watch a lot of shit like that, unfortunately, thinking about it. Like we watch a lot of
been on a Muppet Babies kick, and not the cool old ones, but the new weird looking one with some penguin sunny thing.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, but she's been on that a lot, and I'm like, oh.
So I'm trying to get my son back into. We were into sharks for a while, or he was like watching on Disney, you know, like a Shark Week episodes and stuff like that. He was into like the big cats and stuff. Trying to get him back into that slowly because those are kind of those I do like watching. Those are kind of cool,
right?
Versus like kids opening toys and eggs and shit with their dad. It's just weird to me to watch that. But like, yeah,
dude,
my daughter likes it.
Don't knock it because me and Jen get paid to do that for on video games on Twitch.
See, that's cool though. I guess if you're making money, doing it,
right? See, it just changed though, right?
Yeah, like the one I couldn't ever do. You ever watch like Blippi? You ever got stuck on the Blippi train for a minute?
No, but that's the dude that did some kind of messed up shit to his friend.
Yeah,
in real life, and so I don't.
He's an Air Force veteran too, I think. How crazy is that?
Oh.
Which probably explains what it is. I forget what he did, but it has some. I think he like shit on somebody or threw shit.
I really don't know. Like all I heard was like, once again, stupid me going through social media, and it was like a mom watching Blippi and being like, I can't get out of my mind what he did in real life. And I'm like, not going to go ahead and see that at all. Like, there's some things better, like, not known.
Yeah, and then just the way he acts is just too much. Like, I've told my wife before, like, I get he probably makes a ton of money doing this thing, but I could not knowingly act like an idiot like that. Like, my moral compass would just be destroyed just dancing around, like, ha, come on, kids, like, you know, and dress like that. It's like I couldn't do it. I'd be just so boring. But hey, kids, this is a fire truck. Like,
it's red.
Don't
start fires.
Yeah. Call 911. All right. That's the end of this episode. That'd be it.
Speaking of which, though, like, man, I was going, and dude, we didn't even talk about stop, drop, and roll. I thought growing up as a kid, I was going to need that a lot more in my life.
Yeah. I mean, or hiding under a desk when there's an earthquake, all these things is like.
We would hide in the halls because I grew up in Pennsylvania, and we would hide in the halls for tornado drills. Because there was no windows in the classrooms, or there's windows in the classrooms, but in the hallways it was just all like concrete bricks and everything. And so yeah, I remember having to do tornado drills, like sitting against feet against the wall, head against the wall, so you're facing the wall, just sitting there. Those were good times though, because then I wasn't in class.
Yeah, when you're a kid, that's the best when you do those type of drills because you just shoot the shit with your friends and. It could be like 30 minutes longer. They go to like recess right after. It's like, hell yeah, see you guys later.
Oh, if you timed it perfect. Oh.
Yeah. Man. Tornadoes are scary as hell, though. Like, I have one story with tornadoes. My parents were living in Texas my last year of high school. And I was driving on the freeway. I was in my mom's truck, and I think I was by myself. Maybe my sister was with me. But I heard all these alarms going off. I was like, what the hell? And all the cars started just peeling off the freeway. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm just cruising, you know? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I get to the house. Everybody's in the freaking bathroom in the bathtub. I was like, what is going on? They're like, oh, that's a tornado alarm. I was like, shit, I was listening to radio. Nobody's even saying anything about no damn tornado. I'm just cruising on the freeway wondering why everybody's driving off. I figured something was happening, but I was like, what's a freaking like a bomb coming? Like, what's going on? This is crazy.
You're like, I'm making excellent time. Thank you, everybody.
Because like earthquakes, there's no thing out here. I grew up in California, so it's like there's no like woo earthquake. It just happens and it's gone.
Right, dude. That was the scariest thing I've ever like. The first time going through an earthquake out there, that shit was nuts.
Yeah.
Like I was living out in Bellflower. It just started shaking the house and our TV fell over. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do at all.
There ain't nothing to do. You just got to ride the wave, so to speak. Yeah. Earthquakes are, I don't know. There's only been a few that I can kind of recall that were like, holy crap, that's moving.
Dude, that's horrifying to me.
Yeah, I mean, I know 49 other states or the mainland would be happy if we broke off, though. I mean, they'd probably be like, get the hell out of here, California.
I'm just saying, I would have like what would probably be Malibu location now if you guys did fall off. Like, I'd be okay. Well, I mean, you can come out first before it does fall off, but then, yeah, like I would have
property value through the roof. Just all freaking beach location now. It's like, hey, I never really thought of it like that. If you border California, you could be like, damn, we can become multi-million-dollar property.
You would see that whole, you would see if it happened, Quartzsite would just go through the roof. They would be like $3 million properties right up, and nobody in the world would ever expect Quartzsite or Blythe to have that kind of property value out there.
Hey, man, it could, I don't know. I just know people would be happy if it did happen. You know, California is just, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare state. I know I've told you that before. This place is crazy. Like, I don't know. They're like some good things that they do, and then there's for every like one good thing that happens, there's 20 bad things that get put into place.
Hey, look at that. We made a full circle back to the VA.
Yeah.
For every one good thing that happens.
I wouldn't be surprised if the VA started in California. It's probably a California foundation that started or something, man, because it's such a freaking joke sometimes. It's
And
just
that
so
the hardest thing for that is like, dude, you have people coming from like Laughlin, you have people coming from all over the place to just get to the West LA VA and the Long Beach. You have people going 4 or 5 hours out of their way. And that just like that sucks, man.
yeah, that's part. I think that might be part of it too. Like especially talking about VA. It's like they're in like those. At least in California, a lot of them are like metropolitan areas or large cities, so they get overwhelmed too, I'm sure. So there's probably a lot of like, oh, screw it, like, yeah, here's some damn pills, like you were saying, just get out of here, like.
That's why all the files they needed space for the new files.
Oh man, I saw that and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. I told my wife, I was like, freaking veterans just can't catch a break. So now somebody is like, the homelessness out there too is pretty bad. So it's like, if you're a homeless person or just a scumbag in general, let's say a scumbag that's trying to steal identities, like, man, you just got a gold mine of just probably some health benefits in there, VA benefits, and all that documentation.
Or at
That
least
just won't
stealing
come
people's
through.
identity, man, and just, starting credit card fraud. Like,
Yeah.
dude, if I was a scumbag, knowing that the VA would do something like that, why not just walk in and be like, hey, I'm here to clean out some files. They said that they're just going, like, dude, I guarantee you can get somebody to fall for that there.
Sadly, yeah, you probably could
Yeah.
get somebody walking and be like, "Yeah, I'm here to shred some documents for you guys."
Oh, I didn't even think about it that hard. If you said you're here for, whew, you're so much smarter than me.
Go in there like in a nice kind of a suit or button up or something. They'll probably believe you. Get a visitor badge, make one at your house, laminate that shit.
So easy.
They wouldn't even check anything. Guaranteed, be like, "Oh yeah, the documents are in down the hall in office 13C or something. Yeah, it's in there.
Right?
Have at it." It's like,
that's nuts. That's nuts because like that's a feasible thing.
it is. It is. And that's a big hospital too. That Long Beach one is massive. When I was going to Long
that
Beach,
was another thing was the parking was horrendous there.
yeah.
Like I remember going there, parking in the softball fields in the back because there was nowhere to park.
Well, I think they like extended it because like 2 companies ago, I was shipping stuff to it. I sold like the underground electrical manholes and stuff to that place. I think they were expanding it back then. I'm sure I mean, I hope they're done by now. That was like 4 years ago. But knowing how that operation works, it probably a bunch of red tape and shit like that too.
Right.
But that's a nice area. That area is pretty nice, but that just sucks. That's why I don't know. I don't know how anybody deals with the VA. I don't know how you do it because I don't know.
Well,
I always get told I should.
Is because of the threat of them taking it away. If
Yeah.
I don't make the appointment, if I don't make, if I don't jump through their hoops, then they can just say, hey, you don't get your benefits anymore. Then I would be like every other nonprofit and I'd pay myself first.
Hey, I mean, I know for a fact some of the big ones have to, man. There's just no way. There's no way.
Dude, like you can request it because they have to make it public because it's a nonprofit. Or at least that's my understanding. I know that there are places that do. And like, dude, you look at it and like it's astounding. Let's say there's a place that probably provided $100,000 worth of stuff for veterans. They paid themselves like $2.5 million. Like that's a big disparage, you know?
Yeah. Kind of makes you wonder the intention behind even starting it originally.
I
'Cause you
mean,
can't,
it could have been great intentions, but greed gets, a lot of people.
yeah, I could see, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I could see that happening just because, and in the market too. I mean, veterans, it's something you could probably capitalize on if you're trying to do something like some of those bigger ones pretty easily, you know?
Well, we just had a guy doing a fake fundraiser down in Scottsdale that like swindled people out of tens of thousands of dollars, saying that he's doing something for veterans.
Going that Brett Favre route, man, just
Right?
stealing money from people.
And you still have a lot of hate for Green Bay. That's 2 quarterbacks ago now. You don't even have Aaron Rodgers there to make fun of no more. How happy you about that?
One of the guys that I hired recently that works for me, he's a Packer fan. I told him, I was like, we're talking about this was it Thursday? I was like, dude, if Jordan Love ends up being fucking good, I'm gonna be so pissed. Cause man, I'd be so mad going from Favre, Rodgers, and then say Jordan Love's like a pro baller. I'll be like, okay, I'm just screw Green Bay forever for life for sure.
Like, I don't know the exact time frame, but how long was Aaron Rodgers under Brett Favre?
I think like I want to say like 2 or 3 years, somewhere around that
And so
ballpark.
it's been like 3 or 4 years for Jordan Love. Dude, think about it. That guy has got to know the game, got to study under a very good quarterback, whether or not he's a tool bag or not.
Yeah.
But he hasn't taken any punishment. So he's just gotten bigger as a human being too,
Oh, yeah,
without taking any kind of impacts and all that stuff. So I feel bad, but like, man, there's a great chance that he just comes out slanging.
yeah, I mean, you don't just move off like Brett Favre knowing that Aaron Rodgers has a ton of potential, or moving off Aaron Rodgers knowing that, hey, this kid could be maybe not as good as him, but pretty damn good, you know? Like
Right.
that's some confidence to be able to do that 2 times in a row with Brett Favre and then Rodgers. Be like, you guys are a little bit too much drama, and we trust the young kid underneath you. So deuces.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Vikings can't draft a quarterback. We have to sign Kirk Cousins. But like my
I
dad
can't
and I were
believe you
talking
guys
about
didn't go with that guy from Georgia.
Stenson Bennett.
Yeah. that dude's a baller. That dude's a baller.
He's like 30 years old, man. That guy's old as hell. He's gonna
Think
show
about
up
it.
at
Once again, he hasn't taken the damage that other people have. He's a
Yeah.
lot more mature. He's going to make better decisions overall outside of the field, which is going to reflect inside.
Yeah, we heard he has like 4 grandkids, man. That guy's old as hell. He's so old, man. He's old. I'm pretty sure he's like 27 or 28 or something like that. He's like an old kid because he stayed in college longer than he's supposed to, basically.
Wait, hold on. So how old is Jordan Love going to be?
I think he's like 22 or 23. He's
Jordan
still a
Love's
kid.
not. No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sure he's like young as hell still. Let me look this kid up.
Oh, that's going to make me
He's
feel
24.
so old.
He's 24 years old.
Oh my God.
He's a kid.
Bro, I'm almost twice his age.
Fuck. That's crazy to think right there.
Well, not like I'm not close to, but man, I'm 40. That dude was, let's see. So if I can math correctly, I was in Fallujah when he was like 1.
Yeah, when he was born, you were like 16 years old. How
Wow.
crazy. He was born in 98.
Wow.
Ugh.
I was 16. I was 16 in 98.
That was 9.
Oh man, I think I gotta go take some Ensure now.
Oh. Yeah, my brother must have been 16 because my brother's 40. Damn. I was 9 years old. That is wild. That shit trips me out though. When I see like man, who was I? We're talking about this. My wife and I were. Well, Madison Bumgarner. I was talking about Madison Bumgarner, and he's like, "Oh, that was one of my friends because we're in our baseball fantasy league." And we are like, man, he's already burnt out at 33 years old. I was like, fuck, man, he's my age. And he's done, you know? Like, it's kind of crazy, man. To be able to retire he's going to have to retire. Nobody's going to pick him up because the Diamondbacks just cut him. But it's like, that is some wild shit. 33
He
years
didn't
old.
even pick up a win for the Diamondbacks this year, did he?
No, he sucked ass. He was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been horrible since he's been there, but it's like, damn, 33 years old and past your prime. That is just wild.
It's nuts, man.
It's like, that's my age. I told my wife, I was like, if I were a professional athlete, this would be like my like final years.
I think if I were to do a jiu-jitsu tournament, I think I'm in like Masters 3 or 4 now. Like I'm not adults. I'm not even like I'm like Masters 3 or 4 now. And I think after that I go into seniors.
What does that mean? Masters 3 or 4?
Because you're old. You're like like you do adult up to like 30. I can't. It's been a while, but like then like it goes master. They make it sound better, but it's like Masters 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's just older and older age brackets. It has nothing to do with skill. It's just you're old as dog shit in jiu-jitsu terms now.
Which is weird to think about, right? Like, man, like, because my parents, this kind of made me just thinking about, like, my parents are getting in a bowling league, and my dad's really good, and he's really cocky, but, like, he could tell, I mean, he's in his 60s. He still thinks, like, oh, I'm, like, young. I can still just curve the ball. I'm sure he still can. But it's like, when do you get to the point where you're like, damn, I'm actually old? Because, like,
I think it's right now at this moment because literally when you said that, I've been thinking about joining a bowling league.
Hey, I used to be in a bowling league when I was a kid. There's nothing wrong with bowling. I love bowling.
I meant to do it kind of like to be, competitive.
Oh, see, my dad's really freaking good at it. And like he's good at a lot of things. Like when I was growing up, he's really athletic and shit. But then it's like, when do you just like, I'm old now. Like it's gone, like that's such a weird thing to even think about. Like does it happen when you start dressing like an old person? Because what happens? Why do people do that?
I heard this too, man. And it's made me think like, when's the last time you actually not jogged, not ran? When's the last time you actually went and did sprints? Dude, I'm going back years and years trying to think the last time I did a sprint.
Like running in a basketball court from one wall to another wall. Fudge, man.
Think about that.
Like 19 years old, probably. So it was that 14 years ago.
Man.
Oh, that's depressing, But like, man, it's weird to think like there's you can't do certain things that you used to do. And as like, is that is that the realization that's like, oh crap, I'm not like, when do people accept the fact that it's like, oh man, I can't do what I did at 25 years old anymore?
I think if you, to a certain extent, accept some facts, that actually like increases the longevity because you're not putting the wear and tear thinking that you're doing it. Because man, there's still stuff that I try to do, and I'm just like I'll go and roll and do an hour session with these guys. The next day, I'm just wiped out, and they're fine, and I'm like, but if I just stop that part altogether, I think I would grow older quicker. But like certain things around the house, like once again with my back and my neck being all jacked up, I had my wife get in the crawl space to put things like I took her stuff to the crawl space, but I like because she's only 5'1". Oh, and so like tiny. I had her do the stuff in the crawl space because I'm like, this is going to take days off of my actual life of being hunched over in there, crawling around. Like, it's going to be bad. So I'm like, you do it, Jen. And so it's a rough. I feel like I'm going through some of those realizations now.
Yeah, because see, I don't think my dad has had that realization yet, because he was talking about playing like pickup basketball with my niece and stuff. I was like,
Oh
dude,
man, I don't want to play pickup basketball against your dad.
yeah, I was like, I don't know if you can do it, man. I was like, I don't know if you can do it, Dad. I was like, you're like 62 years old, you know, you might want to have a heart attack playing basketball. It's like, when's the last time you played a freaking basketball game? Like, you know,
That had to be for me in the Marine Corps, man.
yeah,
Like for me personally, that would have to be, 16, 17 years ago.
see,
That's
like,
that's a human lifespan.
That's a all the way to a senior year, basically, of a life. It's a whole child's life right there.
Right?
It's like, it's been a while since I played, but I mean, I'm pretty physically fit still for the most part. My job's just physically demanding, so it's like I'm in pretty decent shape still for the most part. So I know I can go play. It'd just be rusty in the beginning, but it's like, man, could I keep up with the 20-something year like I used to be able to do when I was in my 20s? Probably not. I'm not that nimble like I used to be. Definitely not as fast.
Well, when I did that sled hockey practice, dude, the next day my arms were roasted, and even worse were my obliques, my sides, from like pushing myself up off from falling and stuff. But dude, like these little 15-year-old kids, they were doing circles around me. They were just toasting me and I'm like, and like then the puck goes the other way, and I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers.
Well, that's like, man, even with like being around like the T-ball kids and stuff. Like, I'm sure you see this with your daughter, even because my son's like a year older. So it's like, when, man, they play sports all day, come home, and they're still jacked. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I'm exhausted from just taking you there and bringing you back. And I didn't even do nothing. I'm just cheering for you. I'm clapping my hands and hooting and hollering. And I come home, I'm like, oh, God, like, I'm
That
spent.
was the day.
And my son's like, Dad, let's go outside. I'm like, oh, shit, dude. Like, eat an orange, drink a Capri Sun, and let's chill for like 10, 15 minutes first. Let me get my composure back. It's like, I didn't even do anything. You did all the work. It's crazy. Like, maybe that's part of it. I need to start realizing, man, I can't do certain things, One thing I won't do, though, I'll never dress old. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, man, no, come to this side. Come to this side. Get the New Balances. They're fantastic. The support is great.
My father-in-law bought me dad shoes. They weren't the New Balance, but they were like these brown slip-on, like low ankle boot looking things. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. My wife was cracking up. She's like, holy shit. She's like, that's something my dad would like wear. I was like, oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you a pair of like brand new white on white New Balances.
Oh yeah,
so
and then I'll mow the lawn in them.
That would fit so well at Scott's. Like, tell me that wouldn't be perfect. Like, you would look like the quintessential father figure of the whole place with some brand new kicks like that.
I'll tuck in my polo, Get
some cargo shorts.
High ankles, the high white socks, calf socks.
Yeah. You can get even like the purple stripes, purple and gold to represent the Vikings. You got this.
Oh, man. Yeah, get those, mow my lawn, get the grass stain. You got to get the grass stain on there, barbecue with those on. Have you ever seen those jokes? Like, I won't trust anybody at the grill if they're not wearing these shoes, and it's the white New Balance. That shit, there's some truth to that, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, you got to be rocking the New Balance if
Because see, that's why they can stay at the grill longer. It's that comfort and support.
The comfort. They don't move, man. They just stand there for the whole
That's what I'm saying.
hour it takes to cook.
You gonna do those in flip flops? No. That person in flip flops are gonna take breaks, sit down, go ahead and go and walk around.
That's me.
Person in New Balance, they're gonna stay there, and they're so good that they don't even need to move. They'll have other people bring them supplies, like maybe a beer, because they'll be talking with the spatula, like, hey, and you see the point.
Go grab the plates. I need to put the burgers on the plate. I'm the flip-flop guy. I'm the one that's like, let me sit down at the table by the grill. Let me go inside real quick. I time it. It's like, I put them on. I'll be back in like 10 minutes to flip it or whatever. That's me.
See?
I'm lazy when it comes to grilling, man. I'm horrible. Shit. Oh, man. And so you guys got anything else coming up, though? Anything new on the horizon?
No, just we're going to be focused on that event on the 27th. And once that's over, we're really going to focus on building up that Twitch following, because it's me and my wife have been having a blast playing video games together. Like, we play one-player games. We don't even play multiplayer games. Like, I get frustrated at a part, and then I just hand her the controller, or I would rage quit. Like, I'd be down 5 Xbox remotes by now. But, like, I'll get to something that I can't beat. I'll just hand it to her. I'll walk my ass to the kitchen, make up some egg rolls in the air fryer, get some sweet chili sauce. I'll just be, you beat that yet? Then, yeah, she'll come back, and, yeah, so.
That's funny. That's like the big brother thing. That's what my brother would do for me when I was like growing up. If I couldn't beat a boss, I'd hand the sticks over to my brother. Be like, dude, I can't do it. Just let me know. Let me know when you're done so I can play the rest of it. Get back to the fun part of it.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, man.
But that's about it, man. Other than that, getting excited to watch Thomas next weekend and hope he just crushes it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. So are you going to be like on his shorts or shirt or something? Or
it's going to be a surprise. I just hope it's not like the old school Condom Depot ads on the early UFCs. Like, I don't need to be anywhere around there.
Condom Depot. Right. Some guys had it in the front, some guys had it on the back. It's like, kind of.
Yeah, as long as we stay away from those two areas, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, because then it's just those were weird placements for those when you're thinking about it, because they were huge. Proper. Yeah, I mean, I guess where else would he put that? I mean, and they were huge though. Those.
Oh, they were so obnoxiously big.
Yeah, they're like
so obnoxiously
on
big.
The ground. The guy's ass is facing the camera. It's like, there's Condom Depot right there in your face, on the guy's freaking ass crack.
And it was kind of like those would always come up at the most inopportune times. I remember watching wrestling growing up, and like D-Generation X, and like everything would be normal for the whole wrestling show, and then my mom or dad would show downstairs, and like Trish Stratus just showing her ass, or they're just all doing suck. Like it's never at the appropriate time. Like, you see the Condom Depot like logo right there. Like, you're just trying to watch some fights, and then like someone walks in casually. You're like, oh yeah, I know.
The old wrestling though was like that, man. Old wrestling was always like Sable all of a sudden has handprints on her boobs, and it's just like, yeah, your mom walks in. Like, what the hell are you watching? Like,
right. I believe they were called puppies back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Show the puppies. Yeah, show the
puppies.
They did like bikini contests randomly on that show. 90s for wrestling was, man.
Dude, that was the pinnacle. That was the top.
I still watch old clips sometimes. I'm like, man, that was just the best era of wrestling all time. Like, when I was a little kid, I'd even clip my shirt right here so I can be like Hulk Hogan and rip it. I'd come down the hallway in my chonies, try to be like Stone Cold. Because I had like they came out with CDs back in the day with like their intro music.
Yeah.
And I used to come down the hall, like just my underwear, Stone Cold Steve Austin style, playing the music. It's just stupid shit, man. God, those were good days.
I don't know if you ever watched it, but it was real huge on the East Coast. Was ECW. Like
Yeah.
I lived like the town over from a couple of the big guys like Shane Douglas and stuff like that. I actually went to the same gym for a little bit that he went to lift weights and stuff like that. It wasn't like but anything that was personal, but like I ran into him there. I was like, oh shit, that's cool. And we convinced my mom and my dad, it was me and my best friend growing up, Marky Tigerman. We convinced my mom and dad that ECW was Extreme Collegiate Wrestling. And they bought it hook, line, and sinker, dude. Like they had no idea because it didn't come on until like 1 a.m. or midnight every so often on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, So it was real weird times. So we got away with that. And then I don't know how this happened, but it's the coolest thing. I think it's honestly the oldest piece of memorabilia I ever had was New Jack was digging a fork in everybody's head. And then after that match, it all got everybody, like it was intermission time. I hopped over the railing, went underneath the rink, grabbed the fork, got back over, and I'm 16 at the time. Like literally, my buddy's mom dropped us off at the high school that it was being done at. And so I jumped over, got underneath the ring, grabbed the fork, and then hopped back over. I still have the fork to this day. And it's all like it's in a Ziploc bag, all just bloodied up and everything like that. Dude, it was but like going there, and then you would have who was it? You would have Francine, Beulah McGillicuddy. There you go. Dude, it was just nothing but like 16-year-old boys' best dreams, but should not legally be there type of like entertainment value.
They even had a video game, I believe, at one point, ECW.
Yeah.
Because we used to play all the games on I think there were some on 64, and then like PlayStation, the early PlayStations had like SmackDown and like Raw and all those things, man. Like,
right.
God, wrestling was just the shit back in the day. My whole family was invested
had the WCW versus NWO game. That game was
That's
legit.
what it is. That's on N64. Man, God, that game was the shit. I used to love that game. And my whole family was like into wrestling. My brother's 16th birthday, actually, we went to Sacramento Arco Arena and we watched WCW. They had I remember Bill Goldberg came out.
Mm-hmm.
When you're watching it on TV, the fireworks look freaking like immense, like you can't see anything. When in person, it was like, But I mean, I'm sure it hurts like hell still to stand there, but it's like, it's not as bad as it looks like on live television.
Right.
But, that was cool. Like we were big Sting fans. My family was. So like we were like looking in the rafters, like, oh, we're Sting. Like, oh my God. My mom we all love Sting because just with the baseball bat, just stoic as hell and shit.
Yeah.
God. And then that's when WCW and you had WWF at the time that were like competing, I guess. The
wars, man. Yeah, the wrestling wars. Yeah.
God, man. Yeah, I can't believe they let us watch that shit. Thinking about like The Rock and Stone Cold and just all the shit talking.
Dude, I had a Stone Cold 316 T-shirt that I would wear to high school.
Yeah, I had Stone Cold shirts. I had The Rock shirts. I had The Rock on one of my birthday cakes when I was, I think, like 8 years old. That's why I can do the eyebrow. When I was a kid, I would stand in the mirror and just practice. I had to practice the eyebrow for what a stupid thing to do, Like, it's like, hey son, what are you doing? I'm in the bathroom. Trying to get my eyebrow to go up.
Trying to spit water like Triple H.
Oh yeah, do the whole little mist spit thing that he would do. Walking around at school telling people to suck it. Just, man. That's why we're normal, That was like the last normal generation right there. You can walk around elementary school and be like, suck it. And it's just like, no, teachers didn't say nothing. Everybody just, because they're probably watching it too. They're just like, these kids are fucking crazy. I love it. Man, I saw a clip Man, it brought back some nostalgia. I vaguely remember the storyline on WWF, like Undertaker and like his group. This is when he was still like before he went to like the biker Undertaker. They're like trying to they have like Stephanie McMahon on like a cross type deal, and they're like trying to like demonize her, like put like a weird or something like that on her. I can't remember what it was. And then Stone Cold came out and started whooping everybody's ass. I was like, God, I kind of remember this storyline. It's like I kind of remember when like Undertaker was trying to like possess her with like a demon or something. I was like, that was some cool shit. And I'm like 8 years old watching that. Like, God, luckily turned out okay, you know? Like, I can't believe our parents let us watch this shit. That is so wild.
Hey, I think we're a lot less violent than the people are today now. So
yeah, well, like my brother, because he's your age, like he would do all the moves on me. He'd put me in the sharpshooter. He'd power bomb me and choke slam the shit out of me, and it's just I thought it was cool as hell. He's just whooping my ass, trying all the moves.
I didn't know wrestling was fake until I took my older brother and my cousin's head and I made them headbutt each other. But I didn't stop because my brother's 7 years older than me. And so I thought it was, so I literally smacked their faces together and they both had bloody noses. And then I got my ass whooped. And so then I realized that, oh, wrestling's not entirely truthful.
Yeah.
So, but man, those are good memories though.
They were. Like, we used to record the pay-per-views too. My brother would put the VHS in and record the freaking pay-per-views.
Man.
Like, man, you could do all that shit back in the day, you know?
Right?
Damn. Yeah, we had wrestling belts as a kid that you got at Toys R Us. I had a couple fake ones. We had
The little wrestling buddies.
Yeah. Like, man, I had a little wrestling ring. And then, yeah, I had the music. So, like, my friend and I would play and we'd turn the music on and have them, you know, so cool, man. It was just such a badass childhood. I mean, video games were around and, yeah, we played those, but it's like mainly just stupid shit.
A lot more imagination on our end.
Yeah, you know. But, yeah, telling people to suck it was probably just crazy to be able to do at, like, 8, 9 years old. Playing basketball, you make a shot on somebody, you're like, suck it. It's like so disrespectful, man. You know, like damn, calling other people jabronis and shit. I like.
Oh man,
good times. Yeah, but well, all right, man.
Dude, it's been great catching up with you, man.
Yeah.
I've had a blast.
Yeah, same here. It's been nice, man. I need to make more time to get back in the hang of things here. That's for sure. Feel like I was doing okay, and then I could feel myself slowly not doing as many, and then it just stopped. So it's like, hey, I get back in the grind here, make some time. So be nice. I'll officially just call it season 2 since it's been like 3 months since I've even had an episode. You know.
There we go. Start off right.
Yeah, you know, shit, gotta get back into it. I mean, I got all the stuff. It's like, damn, I had to dust this stuff off. I pulled it out of one of my drawers. I was like, man, it's like coming out of retirement.
Yeah. Oh, and dude, I want to say sorry again, man. I completely, like, my daughter just got sick. And so I passed out with her yesterday, but then she woke up at like 2:00 this morning and just started puking all over the place again. I'm like, so
that's rough, man. Don't worry about that. That sucks. I know how that is. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Your kid. It sucks when your kids are sick. That's the worst part about being a parent. I hate that shit. It bums me out.
So, but yeah, that's my big plans is just hanging out with her for the rest of the day. So
nice. Well, I'm by myself for a little bit longer, so it's like I can't not do anything. I'm sure I got tasks to do. You know how it is. If your wife leaves the house for a minute, or leaves you by yourself, you're never able to just chill.
It's convenient that it's always, hey, I'm going to take our daughter so you can get some stuff done around the house. Like, oh, wait, no. Wait, why can't I just hang out?
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
So-
It's like, oh, there's laundry. Gotta go to a grocery store. I get more stuff at a grocery store. Like, I mowed the lawn. It's like, I already did that. So I need some help. No, laundry. Pull stuff out for dinner. Fuck. I just want to sit down and just do
You're
nothing.
getting old, my friend. You're getting old.
Oh shit. That's what it feels like. Oh man. But all right, man. Well, you take it easy. Yeah, we gotta get together a little bit more often.
Absolutely, man.
So yeah, we'll touch base maybe again in a month or two or something. That'll be kind of cool. See how the 27th goes. See what else you got coming down the pipeline.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, have a great day. It was, like I said, it was fun getting to talk to you again.
Yeah, same here, man. This is nice. It was a nice conversation. So appreciate it.